Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm so glad you're here. The live stream is working. Technology is working better on Facebook this week. Boy, last week was an adventure. But this week we're talking about fall tips for travel agents. What should you be spending your time on? How do you maximize this fall time frame to set yourself up for success right now and in the new year? So if you want to find out how you should be spending your time this fall, if you want to know exactly what I'm doing and what I'm working with my clients on, and if you want to just have coffee and talk travel, then keep on watching. That's what we're doing today. Guys, don't forget to take a moment to like, subscribe, and ring that notification bell over on YouTube. We put out content every single week. Not all of it makes it into the group that this is streaming into, so take a moment to do that because I don't want you to miss a thing. And if you're new here, I would love to say welcome. If you are new, you might not know who I am. My name is Cyndi Williams, and I started in the travel industry over almost 30 years ago now. 27 years ago, I was a baby. I own and operate my own award-winning nationally recognized travel agency, but I'm best known for being the CEO of Cruise on Vacation, which teaches people just like you how to launch, grow, and supersize your travel businesses all over the world. And if you are new, type a little "I'm new" in comments below so I can welcome you to our community. We're so glad you're here. So guys, today we're talking about fall tips. Where should you be spending your time? Where should you be putting your effort? What are the things that you should be doing right now to maximize your success? So first and foremost, I have to know, I have to take a poll. Tell me in comments, is it feel like fall where you are? Because I'm in Austin, and I was saying in the pre-show, there was a little bit of steam coming off my coffee this morning. I was like, ooh, maybe fall is coming. But for my friends up north, please tell me. Maybe post a picture later. Is fall happening? I grew up in Michigan, and it drives me crazy because I missed that change of the season. We go from summer to dead leaves here in Texas. So it's not quite the fall I grew up with, and I'm dying to know what it's feeling like in your area. So tell me below. And let's jump right into the top 3 things I'm really going to go through in terms of where you should be spending your time. I love to kick it into high gear in September and October and November up until Thanksgiving. Selfishly, I love and appreciate enjoying the holiday season with my family. When I built my own businesses up and built my empires, I was really focused on factoring in that family time. That's why we became entrepreneurs. That was my why, is to build our business around our family. So, and maybe you've never enjoyed a holiday season. When growing up, I worked every holiday, did all the things, grew up in the Midwest. But as an adult, when I had children, my husband and I, it was really important that we have that family time. So I take from Thanksgiving until the end of the year pretty much off. And when I say pretty much, I'm still obviously supporting my clients in our Mastermind programs, but I'm not taking a lot of calls. I'm not booking vacations. I'm not doing that day-to-day stuff as much because that's kind of one, my family time, and 2, it's also my planning time, which we'll get into further here in a second. But the way that I've been able to do that successfully, because you might be thinking, what? How could I take 5 to 6 weeks and just take that time off? Well, 1, read the book, Clockwork. It's amazing. It teaches you how to automate your business, but also how to think about your time differently. So what I do is I've set up amazing automations in my business and all of the things. So my businesses really can run without me if I choose. But what I do in fall time, because obviously my touch is all through our business, right? And everything that we do on the agency side and the school side, all the things. But what I do is I work really hard September through right up until Thanksgiving to get everything in place, not only to close the year strong, but to make sure we are set up for first quarter in a really big way. So let me go through some specific things you should be thinking about if you are a travel agent or an agency owner. And by the way, if you're brand new and you came across this video and you're like, I would love to be a travel agent, but you're not one and you're thinking about if it would be a fit for you, go over and get our free masterclass, the 5 Shifts to a 6-Figure Travel Business and Beyond. Some of my best clients, top agencies around the world started with this free masterclass. I'm going to put the link on the screen there, and also I'll drop it in comments below. If you're in that think about it phase, take that, do yourself a favor. There's nothing to sell on there. It's just what you should know before you get in the industry and the different ways and what might be right for you. So go check that out. But if you are already a travel agent and you are an agency owner, what should you be doing right now to make sure maybe you want to take off the holidays like me, or you want to make sure you're really set up for the best year ever going into 2022? We all know 2020 was a hot mess. 2021 has been much better if you've been dedicated and working on your business and things are recovering. 2022, you guys, is going to be amazing. I am predicting one of the biggest wave seasons ever, and I'm so excited about that, but I want to make sure you're set up. So what am I doing specifically in fourth quarter? First thing I'm doing is making sure that we are closing the year strong, right? There's a bazillion things that you can do in terms of like you're making sure your day-to-day, that your automation is in place, that sales are happening every day. That's like normal stuff that should be happening every day in your business. But in terms of the prep, the bazillion things you can do to prep going into next year have to happen now. Fourth quarter is really the most important quarter of the year, because not only are you closing your year strong, you need to be doing the stuff right now that's going to set you up for success in first quarter. If you're newer to the industry, maybe you're not newer to the industry, everybody knows, or if you don't know, I'm going to share it with you. Newsflash, I'm going to share it with you now. First quarter is what's called wave season in our industry. That is the busiest time for us for the entire year. So maximizing having an extraordinary wave season will set you up for the entire year next year. So making sure that wave season is like gangbusters, that you're doing all of the things, that you're getting all of the sales is important. But there's really some specific tips that you can do to have the best wave season. The first one is start preparing now. What I see happen all the time with new agents that come to us or people that sign up for our programs in the first quarter of the year is they'll go, I want to do marketing for right now. I want to take advantage of wave season. That's awesome. But the marketing works best when you start it in advance. You are priming people right now in fourth quarter, and the marketing that you do in first quarter, you can't do it while it's busy season. Does that make sense? Have you ever worked at, like, my first job was like a hostess and then a bus girl and then a waitress at a family restaurant in the Midwest. And we had this stuff called side work, right? You had to make sure side work was done before the shift, or the prep work was done before the shift. You can't wait for the crowds of people to come in and then go, oh, let me slice the potatoes for the hash browns. No, like all of that has to be done in advance. You have to prepare for that busy time frame. I know that's like a weird analogy, but I feel like that might connect. If you've ever worked in a job that had like that busy season or that busy time frame, you don't jump into the busy time frame and then have to do the stuff that's going to get you the sales or serve your customers, right? So you have to be thinking about, what marketing should I be doing in first quarter? How do I plan for that? And how do I get it prepared? Which is really what leads me into number 2. I'm going to talk about marketing in a second, but I want to stop for our agency owners real quick. If you're an agency owner, not just thinking about those things to prep, but if you're an agency owner, you should be hiring, staffing, training, and preparing your ICs, your independent contractors, your new travel agents to be ready for wave season. The time to bring on staff, my friends, is not in the middle of busy season. You're going to be selling so much, you're not going to have time to train or support your staff, and it's going to fall short, and they're going to be like, wow. So it's a very technical term, bah. But you guys get the idea. If you're an agency owner, the time to staff is right now, guys. Like, when do they start hiring for Christmas season at the stores? In the fall or even in the summertime, right? Staffing. So if you're an agency owner, keep that in mind. So what is the number 2 thing? I kind of talked about marketing already a little bit, but I want to talk about the steps to marketing. So marketing for fourth quarter, ideally, like obviously we train our Careers on Vacation clients and our Wanderlust CEOs, people that work with me one-on-one in our programs. We teach them a very specific system, protocols, and processes to get their marketing machine operating, running, automated, behind the scenes, all of the things happening. So fourth quarter should actually be done. You should be just like, that stuff should be coming out, should be happening. And now is really the time to plan for first quarter. Now, if you're like, Cyndi, you're like way over my head right now. I've never marketed before. I just throw stuff out on Facebook as I feel like it. It's not really a marketing strategy, but that's okay. That's why you're here and that's why you're learning. And kudos to you for that. So here's the thing with marketing, guys. if you don't have your fourth quarter marketing done, do that first, right? Finish that out, get that done, get it planned. But going into first quarter, I really want, and when you do your marketing system in general, I want you to plan it out in a very strategic way. I don't know what you sell. There's we work with hundreds of clients in our programs and they all sell something different. So your strategy is not going to be cookie cutter. It's going to be different from everyone else's, but figure out what is my strategy for marketing. Then I want you to create your marketing and then I want you to schedule it. Ideally, you're automating that stuff, right? So, but just remember those things: plan, create, schedule. If you can do that in advance of busy season, then you're not at the restaurant going, where's the hash brown cutter, right? You don't have time for that. It's busy season. Like right when you jump into January, the calls are going to come. All the things are going to come in. You might say, Cyndi, well, we're going to make sales no matter what because it's wave season. Yeah, you are. But here's the difference between someone who has marketing done and scheduled in first quarter and the person who doesn't. When March and April roll around and it goes to crickets on your laptop where you're like, oh, let me open up and see how many leads I'm going to have today. It's coming off of busy season, feeling great. I'm booking all of these trips. And all of a sudden it is crickets. And you're like, where did all the leads go? Happens every year. Why do you guys think that spring is one of our busiest seasons at Careers on Vacation? Because you're all like, oh my gosh, you have this great success in Q1, and then you're like, but I need more of that. Cyndi now has to teach me how to make that happen all year long, right? So that's the difference, guys. You have to make sure that you're doing those things so you can extend your wave season and also create an evergreen wave system that follows you all year long. So your cash flow isn't just that one quarter and then you're living off of that for the rest of the year. Imagine if you could create almost a wave season every single quarter. How would that just transform your business? It would be amazing, right? So, and guys, if there was ever a time to double down and learn about marketing, learn about processes, do these things, not only are we anticipating this big wave season, but the other thing I want you to think about is the environment that we're in right now. Like, this is not just something I'm saying. You can look at the data, you can look at major media, you can look at the stats. ASTA had a report out last week that said 30% of people, or 30% of new clients coming into our agencies right now are people who have never used a travel agent. Because so much has changed in the world of travel, they want that expertise, they want that help, they want that support. Do you realize what an opportunity that is? And we were doing good before the whole crazy pandemic, but now where the opportunity exists, and from an industry, analyst perspective and expert and looking ahead, just think about that. Like, what if your business was 30% more, plus your other clients are traveling, right? They're doing this revenge travel. That what you do in the next 18 to 24 months in your business, and really next year, that 12 months is critical. Showing those people the difference of what they get when they work with you, why they want to work with a travel agent. What you do in the next 12, 18 months, maybe even into 24 months, is going to set your business up for the next 5 or 10 years if you do it right. So I really want that to resonate with you, because that is the importance of doing your business in a bigger way, playing it bigger with your business, getting it out of hobby mode, all of those things, doing some of these things that we're talking about on the show today. All right, one more thing I want to give you. And guys, go ahead and type questions in the live stream. I'm going to go and check all the questions at the end while I'm on here live and answer any that you have. But I don't want to forget the very last one, the other thing you should be working on fourth quarter. So that time frame from Thanksgiving to the end of the year where I'm technically off, right? Like, I'm not doing my normal day-to-day stuff. I'm supporting my clients that are in our programs. Beyond that, it's downtime for me and family time. But one of the things I really do is that is my prepare for next year. I don't think about what my goals are or my New Year's resolutions. I almost said revolutions. It does feel like a revolution sometimes. I don't think about resolutions on December 31st. No, when you get really good at business, you plan for, I'm already thinking about what I should be doing in my year, what I should be doing for next year. But the time that I sit and get quiet and I center, this is my work on my business phase of my year instead of working in my business. Does that make sense for you guys? Some of you get so tied into this trip and that trip and this trip and that trip, and you're booking all the things, you're doing all the things. And then when you get a minute to breathe, you're like, whew, what should I do? I need a vacation. I have to take a nap or whatever the case is. scheduling time to work on your business actually helps you grow. That is why my companies have grown leaps and bounds every year for the last 5 years, because of this time period I take. Even from, you guys, 2019 to 2020, in that crazy year, my company grew. I mean, wrap your head around that. We were in the middle of a pandemic, and we didn't just grow a little. We grew like 30%. That's insane. So the thing about it is, though, none of that would be possible unless I took this time to reflect on what do we do well, what can we do better, how can I serve my clients in a better way, both on the agency side and on the you guys side that are in our programs, right? Every year I ask myself, how do I get better? How do I do that? How do I get my clients better results? And I spend that 6 weeks challenging myself to, like, what do we need to do to take it to the next level? How do we do better? And though when I do that time period, that's when I come up with the best ideas, the big initiatives, the things that we're going to roll out in the next year that will better serve my community or better help my clients that travel with us, right? So think about that. Like, even maybe you can't get 6 weeks yet because it's just not quite there. Maybe you don't have a team in place and you don't have systems or automation, things like that. It's okay. Get a week. Get yourself a week. Like, what's it? And you guys know, I'll tell you what the best week for you parents out there is, because I have 3 babies. And so you can't use that as an excuse. Cyndi, I have kids. I don't have time. No, you don't pay me. Well, these are free, so you're not paying me at all. But I'm going to give you some free advice here. If you have a dream in your heart to do this thing in a bigger way, I'm going to tell you right now, I've done it with the kids, the 3 kids, all the things. I'm just a mama, you guys, that runs amazing, huge travel brands. And I figured it out, right? And so the advice is, even if you start small, it's fine, but do it in the times where you can find time. So I'm going to give you a tip. If you have kids, do it when they're still in school, right? Those first 2 weeks of December, pick one of those weeks and block your schedule right now. Do it. Whether you're a client of mine or not, do it. That's your work on your time business to set your goals for next year. Okay. So that's a little tip from me to you. And guys, the difference is the people that are most successful and people who have a good, maybe they have a solid good wave season, but then it falls flat, is doing these things right now, right? If you want to have the biggest business possible and you really want to maximize your entire year, do the stuff we're talking about now. And I'm going to go check questions in a second, but I want to remind you guys, this is what I do for a living. I coach people. I coach people. Careers on Vacation program is our most popular program. This is where we teach you proven systems to get your marketing done in advance. We teach you how to schedule it an entire quarter ahead. We teach you how to build a marketing machine. We teach you how to automate. We teach you how to do all of these things, how to set your goals, how to get top converting marketing strategies in place so you're not wasting your time. You guys, in the last 6 months, we've had 3 clients that before they graduated our course had $100,000 in sales. It's insane. So the getting clients right now is not the problem. It's getting the right clients and making sure you have these systems in place so you can maximize. So think about Careers on Vacation. If this is resonating with you, go check it out online. This is our 12-week mastermind where we work with you to become the best travel agent you can be, and also how to show up in the online space and run your business online with systems, with processes. And you get to work with my amazing team, the same team that took my business from 6 figures a year to multiple 6 figures a month, 7 figures a year. We've already hit our 7 figures this year. You get access to those same folks. I give you access to those people to help you in your business. And we're celebrating, you guys, 130 case studies, video case studies. You can go right over to YouTube, check those out. But if that sounds interesting, go to careersonvacation.com/ready now. We do have a wait list for fall. And if you want to be set up for 2022, do it now. Like, get in. We have a little wait list. It's a couple weeks, but definitely at least have the call where we can talk to you about where you are in your business and how we can help you, or if we can help you. If not, that's okay too. We'll give you some great advice and send you on your way. All right, I'm going to hop over and see if you guys have some questions for me today and see what we have here. Let me hop over. Say hello. Oh my gosh, we have people from all over today. This is amazing. Nicole says, a friend of mine in Alaska had snow the other day. Yeah, I have a friend in Mount Shasta. like a weekend ago, and they had crazy snow. I was like, what? Elma says pouring rain. So Elma, that means, hot chocolate on the couch doing your marketing. I love it. Jen says, Cyndi, that's wishful thinking. I don't know which one that was for. I just got back from a cruise to the Bahamas. I'm still in summer mode. Oh yeah, Jen, you're in Florida, right? So yeah, you're like me. You're like, I'm putting on the fall things. I'm wearing the fall colors, and then I go outside to go pick up the kids for school. And it's like 95 degrees, and I'm all like, whew, it's hot out here. Yeah, it's not quite happening quite yet. I love it. Oh, and we have some friends from Canada, from Quebec. I love it. Hey, Shannon. Hey, Marie. And then from Idaho, chilly Montana. See, Montana seems like it would be cold. So I like that. Love it. Nicole says, COV is the best training around. I'm happy to chat with anyone that has questions. Yeah, you guys talk to Nicole. She's been through our Careers on Vacation program, and she's actually one of our agency owners now. She has a Wanderlust CEO certified agency, and is scaling up an amazing team. And not only that, she's really cool, and she goes to Disney all the time. And that's super fun. Laura says, how do you feel about podcasts? Laura, I have a podcast. It's called blisstoabundance.com. So definitely check that out. Podcast specifically for your agency. Yes, I think it's a great idea, but here's the deal. I had this conversation with Alma, who's on the feed right now, and she was asking me about newsletters too in our programs this week, because Alma's in one of my programs. Here's the thing, guys. Any marketing, there's certain ways you can obviously optimize your marketing, get better conversion. But when it comes to those extra things like a podcast or a blog or a newsletter, some of those things can be very successful. But where I've seen them be most successful is if people have a passion to do them. If you don't have a dying desire to be a podcaster, or you're not like drawn, it's going to fall to the wayside. So what I always say is, if you can do it well and you're inspired to do it, then yeah, totally do it. But if you're just doing it to check a box, trust me, it's going to fall flat. You're going to get bored. Podcast is a lot of work. You got to stay on a cadence. You got to stay on a schedule. You have to have content going out on every week or every month. And if it just becomes like a half done project, it doesn't make you look good. And it's kind of, it's one of those things where it'll just kind of fall flat. So, but if you have a passion to do it and you love it, then yes, then it's going to be more successful, because you're going to be excited to do that podcast every week. You're going to be excited to connect with your audience in that way and in that medium. So I always tell people, like, pick those top 2 or 3 things that really excite you. If you start in that place, you're going to have a better result than that person who's just checking a box for the podcast. So hopefully, that helps. If you have any follow-up questions, Laura, on the podcast, let me know. Carrie said, any ideas on inexpensive giveaway basket to take to a gun show? Carrie, are you in Texas? I mean, Texas, I'm laughing because we have gun shows all over the place here in Texas, and we've actually tested them, and honestly, guys, they're pretty successful. I'll tell you why. When you go to a gun show, you're going to be the only travel agency there. So what happens when, like, all the, guys, and I don't, not to be sexist, girls can get guns if they want to, but mostly, let's be honest, the demographics can be mostly dudes shopping for guns that are having their wives tag along. Where are the wives going to gravitate towards? Carrie's booth at the gun show. So that's so funny. Yeah, inexpensive giveaway. A couple of things. One, I think you should do a basket where so that way you're giving one prize, you're putting one amount in. And then don't forget, shows are all about lead caps. How are you capturing leads? And then what you do. Like, this is one of the things we teach in our programs, Carrie, is like, we actually have a guide that says how to get your first 100 leads. And it's an A to Z show guide of how to maximize every show that you do. But your question specifically is kind of inexpensive giveaway basket. Go to World Market. If you have a World Market in your area, get some chocolates from around the world, get some little things from around the world. Maybe go to or if you're going to do a beach basket, go to the dollar store, get some flip-flops. You can literally create Michael's, Home Goods. Go to those places and pick up those little travel things, create a travel-themed basket, one basket, and then all day long you're collecting leads for that. So hopefully that gives you some initial tips on that piece. And also, like, luggage tags is always a good one if you want to have that little thing that you give away. So that's a good one. Nicole says, "Oh, you're really cool." No, you aren't cool. Eduardo says, "Hi from San Juan." I love it. And then, oh, you're in Montana, Texas, gun shows. I'm just laughing over the gun show because it's such like a geographical thing that happens. Like I grew up in Michigan. I don't think I'd ever heard of a gun show until I came to the South, and I don't know. It's hilarious to me. So anyway, but yeah, guys, there's a million different ways you can market your business, and it's exciting. I'm glad you guys are getting out there. Don't forget to do those things that will really set you guys up for success as you guys grow. And listen, if you're not already following us over on Instagram and TikTok, we are showing you behind the scenes. If you're like, how does this lady have 3 kids, a family, can take 6 weeks off at the end of the year and run these giant travel brands I've heard about online? Go follow on Instagram. You can see my crazy life. I just did a video a few weeks ago on YouTube that's like, look at my day. You might be surprised. It's not as glamorous as you think it is, but I do take you through exactly what I do every day and how I run my family, how I manage keeping the business is growing, how I interface with my team, all the things. So go check that out. And Instagram, we're always showing fun behind the scenes stuff. So I invite you to do that too. So guys, I will see you next week. It's been so fun connecting with you. I'll see you next time. Bye guys. Hey guys, Cyndi Williams here. If you like that last video, make sure you check out my other content to help you grow and scale your very own travel business. And also, I invite you to travel around the world with me and find out what I'm doing in my portable, profitable, award-winning travel business. Check out the videos.